speaking about the launch of the multi-party charter for South Africa. Let's take the story further. We're going to be joined by political analyst Sandile Swana for more. Sandile, good afternoon, and thank you for your time with us here on the SABC.
Thank you so much, Lizelle, and to your viewers.
So today we saw 7 political parties meeting about coalitions, perhaps as a scenario unfolding to govern South Africa as we edge closer to next year's elections. I wonder if we could look at possibilities and probabilities and also the chances, given the maturity of our democracy. What's being unearthed at this point?
I think South African citizens, first of all, need to celebrate this moment. To me, it symbolizes 2 points in our history. For instance, the formation of the UDF around '83, where those who were outside of government came together to remove the government that was. And I think Groenewald and others who belong to the Freedom Front Plus had highlighted this. And then again in 1994, where South Africans came together to remove the National Party. So what it is that it will either be 2024 or 2029 when the ANC is completely removed. But in all likelihood, the ANC is going to lose the majority in 2024. But whether this multi-party pact now, they call it, even read of the name of the Moon Shot, where they will win the majorities. And I think it's more the ANC and somebody else.
Sandile, we struggled to hear the last part of your sentiments, but we did get the gist of it. So we're obviously trying to imagine how this is going to unfold. Natasha also reiterating earlier on that the vision of it has been announced. Given the different identities, the different ideologies, the different constituencies, how is it going to work? Who will lead it? Will they be equally represented? What are some of the gaps or challenges that emerge as we imagine the scenario to date?
This thing should take the form of a collective leadership, which is already provided for in some of our legislation anyway, and our constitution, that idea, that among themselves they must choose the most credible leader that the public will be able to accept. And then from there, seats must be allocated in the cabinet according to how many votes each party has got. That's the simplest way of it. The DA must not pretend that if it has won the election, and it is not going to.
Sandile, let me see if I can ask you another question. I'm not sure if you can hear me or if it is frozen on your end.
Hear you.
Oh, you can. Okay, great. So on the back of that then, I mean, we've seen examples of coalition governments unfolding on a local level. The Democratic Alliance Federal Chairperson Helen Zille also saying that the collapse of the DA-led coalition in the city of Joburg perhaps is a learning curve for the future of coalitions. So perhaps as we look at what has transpired to date, what are the learnings? How do we apply this to a national level? Are we ready as a country to embark on that route for 2024 at least?
Surely we're going to have a coalition in 2024. We've had, since 1994, successful coalitions before. It's not the first time we're entering coalitions. The DA, for instance, in Johannesburg, chose to collapse the coalition against the advice of Mpopalate and against the advice of Herman Mashaba, because the simple thing to do was to embrace EFF into the coalition, which is what the ANC has done to get up. So now the DA started with the EFF that has split the opposition. And that has created a guarantee they get into power regardless, either with the EFF or with the DA. The ones who are in this multi-party pact are at high risk of not putting in.
So Sandile, I mean, we also need to question whether these political parties coming together are advancing their own interests somewhat, or they are willing to bring about the social change that is needed and provide South Africans with a better option. How should South Africa then be preparing itself for coalition governance from here on to?
My personal view is that the period we're entering into is pragmatism. Ideology is not relevant. That is why I found it odd that the DA would be busy fighting with the EFF. Ideology is not going to help anything. The backlogs in sewage, for instance, the backlogs in electricity, the backlogs on roads, those things don't need any big ideological issue. They are backlogs. We're not even moving forward. That's having those backlogs. So you need a pragmatic, technocratic government to really deliver on a timetable. We don't need anybody's big philosophy. I think what citizens have got to insist.